Macmillan Audio presents The Geography of Risk, Epic Storms, Rising Seas, and the Cost of America's Coasts by Gilbert M. Gaul. Read for you by Matt Godfrey, with an introduction and epilogue read by the author.
Introduction. The Old Man in the Sea. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Author unknown. A week before Christmas in 1999, I met the acclaimed coastal geologist Orrin H. Pilkey on the Outer Banks of North Carolina, a more or less continuous spit of sand extending along half of the state's 400-mile coast. We had come to talk about erosion, hurricanes, and the relentlessly defiant pace of development along the state's once pristine shore. Billions of dollars of property now perched in harm's way. Parts of Kitty Hawk, Kill Devil Hills, and Nag's Head had lost entire rows of beach houses to the sea. Dozens of other houses now wobbled on stilts in the surf. Some industrious owners had placed mesh bags filled with giant boulders around the pilings. But these makeshift attempts at engineering provided only so much help. One by one, the houses toppled into the ocean or were condemned by the towns. Red-tagged in the parlance of local zoning officials. "It's madness," Pilkey exclaimed, as we examined a sliver of beach where 2 rows of homes were now underwater. I am sometimes condemned for saying this, but that's what it is. Madness and hubris of unbelievable proportions. Pilkey is a short, square hobbit of a man, with an unruly gray beard and a disarming sense of humor. Depending on your point of view, he is either a prophet or the Antichrist of the coast. For more than half a century, he has been churning out scientific papers, more than 250, and books, 45 and counting, spotlighting the immeasurable beauty of barrier islands and the illogic of building houses on them. The mayor of a beach town in New Jersey once blurted, "I hate him, hate him, hate him," after Pilkey pointed out that his shoreline was rapidly washing away. In 1991, the town of Folly Beach, South Carolina, passed a resolution condemning Pilkey's studies as insulting, uninformed, and radical. Pilkey framed the resolution and hung it on his office wall at Duke University, where he ran the marine geology program. Now 84, Pilkey is retired, yet he's still challenging the often reckless development of the coasts and the billions in government subsidies and bailouts that normalize risks and encourage rebuilding in harm's way after hurricanes and floods. The mayors and politicians like to call hurricanes natural disasters, he said. But in my opinion, there's nothing natural about them. They are man-made. Barrier islands are always moving. Beaches are always eroding. It's only a problem when you put a house there. This is a book about water and risk. That is, how Americans live with water and accommodate its beauty, power, and fury. It grew out of my long-standing love affair with the ocean, and what I have watched occurring at the coast over nearly 7 decades. It isn't enough to say that rising seas and larger, more ferocious storms threaten trillions of dollars of property. What is equally critical to understand is how we arrived at this point, with so much at stake and so few good choices. Which human and economic...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?